Hey everybody, I'm Caleb with Almond Landscape. We're at Burnett's, I think, nursery here somewhere near Sarasota, south of Tampa, Florida. But we're going to tour around the nursery. We're going to talk about plant identification in this video and how to get better at plant identification no matter where you live. So I get asked all the time, how does somebody get better at identifying plants and learning about plants? And I went to a community college in a landscape design build program at Columbus State in Columbus, Ohio. I had a great horticultural program back 10, 15 years ago, and it may still be good, I don't know. But actually the same people are, so I presume it to be just as good. But we would do plant walks through school, and we would go on campus, and our professor would say, this is a southern magnolia or whatever. Now we're in Columbus, Ohio, so we're dealing with obviously zone 5 plants. But although southern mags would grow up there, you just had to be in really protected spots. But the key to a good landscape planting project is the right plant in the right location. So take into consideration what type of soils you have, what the drainage is like, what the shade and sunlight situation is. So is the place in what direction it's facing? So if it's facing north, east, southwest, or a combination of which. How much shade, is this area going to get in a day? Is it get morning sun? Does it get afternoon sun, which is really big? Is it open? Is it shady in the morning and then gets hammered by the afternoon sun? And so you got to plant to that exposure essentially, because that's the hottest part of the day. And the like hosta, which are an herbaceous perennial, they're really going to get beat to death, and you're going to need irrigation, or you just plant on them. They are going to look bad and they may ultimately fail. So you got to keep those kind of things in mind. And so if you don't want to take, and I would recommend, if you got a good community college in area and it's got a good horticultural program, sit in on a couple plant, a couple good plant courses, and take those plant walks and do the, learn how to plant, do that, or, learn about plants, learn plant ID from there. You don't have to get the degree and piece of paper to have, actual good knowledge and information that you can monetize then through better landscape installs. The next thing is, I recommend people go to, your local landscape supplier, landscape nursery, and do your own plant tours. And the plants are going to be labeled. Most of them are going to have plant tags and stuff like that, especially like the residential or the consumer plant nurseries. Most of the stuff they sell is going to grow in your region. Some of it's a little more fickle than other plants or whatever, but again, that's all part of like learning. And so I'm going to recommend you go take every Saturday for 2 months, go tour your local nurseries and start walking through there and paying attention to the tag and the plant and identify it and stick it in your head. Pay attention to areas like this where if it's under a shade canopy, chances are pretty good it's a plant that's going to be more more shade loving, let's say, and isn't going to want to be out in full sun getting roached. And if you put that in your design and you put shade perennials out in an area that's got full sun, it's going to need a ton of irrigation, or it's not going to grow at all possibly too. So you want to, again, that's where the right plant, the right location is really important. So you want to be taking a walk around, just paying attention to what the plant is, what its characteristics are. Woody perennials and trees and shrubs are going to be your easiest to identify for the most part, and go from there. So just walking through, paying attention, little things like what the arrangement of the plant itself is. So like if these are let's see here, I'm trying to find two. So these are considered, it's not a great example, but because it's not an alternate or an opposite thing. It's got like an azalea look to it. I don't know anything about floriculture at all, Florida plants. Like this thing, for this sake, I don't know what in the heck it is, but this would be an alternate growth. So these stems and buds are alternate of each other instead of opposite. So instead of being like, there's one there, but for the most part the growth is like an alternate growth pattern. So again, just taking a walk through. So here's a plant tag. Here's live oak, and so I believe that's Quercus virginianus. So you've got the common name and the Latin name of trees and shrubs and all plants, and even medical and stuff like that. Latin is used because it's a dead language. It's not. It doesn't change or evolve like. Essentially, how we speak now is not how we spoke 100 years ago, right? We talk about things being lit and fire and all that now, while in the past it may have been, why that plant is quite a grower. And our speaking changes and our colloquialisms change, but Latin's a dead language. So that's why Latin's used in the horticulture world, the medical world, and actually law too. So so there's the Latin or the scientific name, and then there's the common name. You want to be careful using the common name, because what might be a red oak here in Florida is not a red oak in Ohio. But if I say Quercus rubra, Quercus is the oak family, and rubra is going to be the species, so red oak. So in general, like, people are going to, okay, I know what a Quercus rubra is. So You know, so you want to learn the Latin name too as much as you can, but even just getting off the ground, okay, that's an avocado, check that out. See, like these things, I don't know these things, so I'm learning too. That's an avocado plant there, how cool. And so, you know, that's how you're going to learn these plants. And if I move to Florida or wherever in the world I might move to, Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, freedom-loving states, Montana, you know, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to consider joining like the Florida Landscape and Nursery Association or the Texas Nursery and Landscape Association, or at least I'm going to get on there and see what references and resources they have available for like what is, you know, what's horticulturally appropriate in the area. So they're going to sell and have like books and pamphlets and things to help you study, give your own staff, teach them how, you know, how to identify trees and shrubs and things like that. So, but I also, if I was totally changing areas like that, you know, I'm going to immerse myself in being the best at whatever I take on, no matter where I'm at. So that's one of the things I'm going to do. I bet you this is a type of hibiscus. I would bet you.
Red hibiscus.
Hey, there we go. Cool, red hibiscus. So, you know, a lot of the plants will be northern and southern and even western and eastern are going to have similar habits. Like that's just something I recognize there. So yeah, so I mean that's kind of that's the thing. So that's what I say, that's what I tell people. That's my long answer. So if you like this content, you want to know more about it, follow along, like and subscribe, check out our YouTube channel, TikTok, Snapchat. So with that said, whatever you do, do it with all your heart, do it the best you can, and just don't stop learning, studying, and being a master of your craft. What do you want to be exceptional at? That's the number one thing I think in life. You know, you need to find something to be exceptional at. So keep that up.